All right, it's finally here, the fifth and final test in what has been truly a grueling series. Every test match has gone into the last session of the last day. And looking at it, this test also promises to be no different. But yes, there is a bit of weather going around. I mean, day 1 and day 4 are where you will see there will be some rain. And today they predicted a yellow alert in the afternoon period. So that's why it's not going to be simple. India and England both will be making some major changes. England already made 4 changes. No Stokes, no Archer, no Cars, if I'm not mistaken. And you're getting in Jacob Bethel as well. Dawson's also out after having
Dawson's also out.
Yeah.
So Bethel's in. Then there
Atkinson.
is Gus Atkinson, who's also come into the squad.
Then Tung.
There is Josh Tung, who we'd seen start the series for England.
Yes.
He's also in the ranks. And there's one more change.
Yeah, so Tung.
Bethel has come in.
Oh, Atkinson, Bethel,
Atkinson, Bethel,
Overton.
and Jamie Overton.
Jamie Overton. And for India, this will be very, very interesting to see what are the changes they will be making. But are we confirmed that there is no Jasprit Bumrah for this test, or by a miracle it's decided, oh, instead of 3, you play 4?
See, he was available for the second test match as well, Siddharth, but did we see him? He was said to be available day before yesterday by Sutanshu Kotak.
Yeah.
He was also, in a way, being made available by Shubman Gill as well, who said that there's a bit of a green tinge on the surface, and we are tempted to play him, but it's a call that we will take tomorrow, looking at how the surface is, and we'll come to how the surface is because we just saw a glimpse of that. It was Nasir Hussain who did the pitch report. Interestingly, in fact, since I've just touched upon the pitch, I was looking at some numbers. The highest score in county that you've seen over here in this season has come in the 3rd innings, and teams that have won the toss have more often than not wanted to bowl first.
But then bowling first and over, let's not get into that. Yeah. WTC final of 2023. It was a similar green tinge, but then what happened afterwards? 1 hour of cloud cover, that was it.
Bad play.
No, but this time, as we see the wicket, I think we talked about this yesterday as well, that the wicket was looking really green yesterday. And we've seen this all throughout the series, that whenever going into a test match, one day before the test match, there is a tinge of green, a lot of grass in fact, and then on the day of the test match, they shave it off and get it to the standard 2.5 mm. But today, as on match day, it looks pretty green. No, there's not a lot of difference in the shade of green that we saw yesterday and today. So I'm expecting that bowling first could be a good option also, keeping in mind that there's going to be weather all throughout, at least for the couple of days to come, and there is weather already. And if I'm not wrong, is the wicket already covered?
I think the wicket is under covers because there might be a bit of a drizzle that's happening at this point in time.
So what I can also tell you guys is just a few hours back it had rained in London.
Yes, it had. For 2-3 hours, I think it had rained on the trot in London, and there was weather predicted today. But I think they may keep the toss, and then there might be a delayed start. I think the toss itself might be delayed. I don't know.
Yeah, it would be delayed.
I haven't picked up anything that suggests that the toss could be delayed.
Yeah, because
can we just refresh this particular
I'm
page?
trying to, there's nothing.
There is nothing. Maybe 6 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to keep a close eye on what has happened here. So
It's just been dragged in, and
For
no word as of
precautionary.
now, but there could be a potential delay.
okay.
Nothing officially yet, but the covers are there.
Okay. So maybe it's just a precautionary thing that they have covered the pitch.
No,
Why
there
the-
is a little drizzle as well.
There is a little drizzle. Awesome. So yes, welcome to typical English weather for the first time, and we are seeing it in the end of July. Traditionally we would have seen it in the months of June and July.
I'm seeing more and more pictures of the pitch, Siddharth, and finally those green decks in England that we were waiting for, we're getting something close to that.
4 tests too late, because see, the best part is yes, it is under covers. So that's going to be a big issue. But then team selection, what do you think? On this green deck, then I think I can safely say Kuldeep doesn't even make it. Even though he had a 1 in 100 chances, he doesn't make it to the playing 11 then. On this green deck, 3 spinners.
I doubt, Siddharth, you're playing 3 spinners on this deck. There's no moving Ravindra Jadeja and Washington Sundar out of the side now, and also just
And you might
taking-
need Jadeja to come and bat at number 5 for you today.
you may not.
DJ.
No, I don't think you'll send. I think
I would personally have him play as just give some more cover, give Dhruv Jurel some time to come, and he's played at 6-7 in the past, so he doesn't necessarily have to bat at number 5.
So Jadeja seems like that he will be filling in the place for Rishabh Pant. That's in terms of the batting position.
No.
Yeah.
Why not Dhruv Jurel?
I don't think that's going to happen. I think the way you have trusted Jadeja all throughout the series, you are going to slot him at number 5. And the only Dhruv Jurel, because he's not played in the series, he does not have that much cricket behind his back. He will be coming
I'll tell you what.
at number 6 or maybe even 7.
You're just looking at the images.
Maybe-
there's Jasprit Bumrah, so the Indian team was presented with the ball box, and they had to decide which ball they want to bowl with. Jasprit Bumrah, Gautam Gambhir got the red cherry to him, and he had a close look at the ball alongside AajTak.
So we are joined by Nikhil at this point in time. Nikhil, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Nikhil, looking at the pitch, what have you seen? There's still that green tinge, overcast conditions. What should the captain do? And looking at this green tinge now, safe to say, even though he was fighting an uphill battle, no Kuldeep Yadav, and that you're going to go with a miracle maybe in Jasprit Bumrah playing on this deck? Although everybody said Bumrah is not playing.
No. Jasprit Bumrah is not playing. It's 100% sure he's not playing this game. I think the box that he was taken, the ball box that was taken to him, was primarily for him to pick the ball, as they trust his judgment of which is the right ball to pick. So I think it's primarily because of that. I doubt Jasprit Bumrah is playing this test match. You pretty much now know the Indian 11. There is no Jasprit Bumrah, there is no Kuldeep Yadav. And that, as I said, if you remember on the 2 days ago when we were doing the dugout, I mean, even though I had picked Kuldeep in my team, but I'd said that it's unlikely that they will be playing Kuldeep. They are going to be bolstering their batting, looking at the pitch. And this Indian team has never played a match without batting at number 8. So Shardul Thakur goes out and you get a Karun Nair in. That's what the Indian team is doing. So they are going with same batting lineup that they had so far. Dhruv Jurel comes in for Pant. Karun Nair will come in for Shardul Thakur. Akashdeep will come in for Anshul Kamboj, and Prasidh Krishna will come in for Jasprit Bumrah. So I think these will be your 4 changes, and your 11 now will have batting till 8 and 5 bowling options. That's what the Indian team is going in. 3 fast bowlers, 2 spinners, and batting till number 8 is what they wanted. They'll get batting. Whether now that's Jurel at 8 or Washington at 8, we don't know. But I think that's the team that India is playing. We'll anyway know any moment. And as for your point about the pitch, yes, it's green now. It's the day of the morning, so no time for speculation as well. You can pretty much confirm that you are getting a green track. And I was surprised that England didn't go with a green track all along. Now they have, and I think should be an interesting test match. If rain stays away, maybe you will get a result earlier than 5 days. And if I'm the captain, I win the toss, I'm bowling first for sure.
Yeah, I mean, see, there is a bit of weather already. The pitch is covered. And yes, the toss has officially been delayed at this point because of the drizzle. There was rain and thunderstorms predicted in the afternoon session. A yellow alert was issued for London. Today and day 4, these are the 2 days in which rain is going to play a big part. And that's why, still, if you look at it, that pitch...
The covers are getting removed.
Yeah, but then there might be a slight delay at this point. Little bit of a delay. After that, maybe 5-10 minutes later will be the toss.
But I think one thing that has been now should be very, very clear, that there is going to be no Arshdeep Singh. So because we were talking about this in yesterday's dugout as well, that maybe there could be a possibility where the team does not want to go in with Prasidh Krishna, because we have seen an Anshul Kamboj already coming in and playing ahead of him, and now that you did not have Anshul, you did not want to play him, maybe you could have gone with an Arshdeep Singh. And if that had to happen, I think we would have known by now in the cap presentation, and that's not happened. So maybe it's going to be Akashdeep
That's what he said. Yeah, that's
three
what
fast
the
bowlers, yeah.
that's what Nikhil had said, and most likely that is the team that's going to go in.
No, also just to point out, I mean, Shashwat says that, Anshul played ahead of Prasidh. I mean, he didn't. Like, Prasidh played ahead of Anshul. Anshul only came much later. So they went to Anshul as a second option. Prasidh was always the first option. And after he played a few tests, that's when they got Anshul. So there was no guarantee that when Anshul experiment didn't work, that they will go with another debutant. I think the Anshul experiment has kind of told them that, as an old English saying goes, it's better to have one in the hand than two in the bush. Extending that logic to the Indian team, where they kind of realize it's better to have a half decent bowler in Prasidh Krishna than risk with going with a debutant who you're expecting to do very well, but there is no precedent there or any sort of data to suggest that that might happen. And I think this is a crucial test match. If you ask me from the Indian point of view, even if I was captain, I would do that. That's why I was not even in favor of bringing in Anshul Kamboj last time around. And as I pointed out, that's what England has done. England has only made changes once there has been an injury or someone is not fit enough to play. Otherwise, they've kept the same bowling attack, like Woakes. They've continued with him. And if they had not continued with him, then Woakes wouldn't have played last test match. But of course, he played the last test match, and then how crucial he was for them to give India the jitters in the second inning. So I think England on that front has been very consistent with their selection. Their changes have only come when players have been unfit or because of workload, not otherwise. So I mean, the smarter thing would be to go with bowlers that have already played, and I think Siraj, Akashdeep, Prasidh are your best option then.
Nikhil, we have a number 3 and a number 5 problem with now Pant not been there. You are saying that Dhruv Jurel can also play in at 8, but then who's your number 3 then? Is it going to be the one that we saw at Leeds?
I don't know where Dhruv Jurel will play. If you ask me, for my personal opinion, now Karun Nair plays at number 5. So it's simple, where because there's no Rishabh Pant. So you've got either Sudarshan plays at 3 and Nair at 5, or Nair at 3 and Sudarshan at 5, whichever way. But I have a feeling it'll be Sai Sudarshan at 3 and Karun Nair at 5. That's what they're going to do. And then 6 will be Jurel. I think 7 will be Jadeja and 8 Washi, or you can get Jadeja at 6 and Jurel at 7, whichever way you do it. I don't know. So as I said, between Jadeja, Jurel and Washi, you can interchange anyone. Ask me personally, I would play Jurel, but I think they might be a little concerned about the left hand and right hand. And, now that they'll have both Washi and Jadeja, they might want to put Jurel in the middle so that they can do left, right hand. It's my guess, by the way.
Yep, so the captains are apparently walking out for the toss. It will be a very crucial toss to win because they might want to bowl overcast, green deck. And basically, when you look at batting, gets progressively worse. If you look at it at the Oval, although in all the other cases, in the other venues, batting gets easier.
It is toss.
Yeah, it is the toss time with Ollie
Not
Pope.
much.
Yeah, Ollie Pope and Shubman Gill are.
But I just wanted to ask one more thing, and one thing that I picked up from yesterday's practice session. A lot of people who are travelling over there also do suggest that there could be an outside chance where Jasprit Bumrah might play, and a reason for that could be that we have seen Jasprit Bumrah bowl on high tilt 2 days before the game and not bowl much on the 1 day before the game, and that's exactly what we saw yesterday with Jasprit Bumrah, and also Jasprit Bumrah.
Okay. So
the only way you can play. If you can play Jasprit Bumrah, if that outside chance happens, if you play him, it will be primarily because of the pitch. Where you think now, with this pitch, you don't need to bowl, 100, 150 overs. Yeah. So you don't really need to bowl Jasprit Bumrah 20, 25 overs in an innings. You might need him only for 10, 12 overs in an inning. So that can be the reason that there's an outside chance that he plays.
And maybe that conversation would have...
because they see the...
Maybe that conversation would have taken place because yesterday Jasprit Bumrah was seen having a very animated conversation with the whole of support staff. There was Ajit Agarkar, there was Gautam Gambhir, there was Morne Morkel as well. So just there could be a very, very, very small but an outside chance maybe for Jasprit Bumrah.
Well, if you look at this series, it's final. in
5-6.
favor of England. It's a clean sweep because England have opted to bowl.
When will Shubman Gill win a toss?
Well,
Zilch.
This tour, he'll now have a chance only in October. That is the time
You
he'll win a
remember
toss.
during the Champions Trophy, India were on that streak of losing tosses. We'd lost 14
Yeah.
tosses in a row.
Yes.
Or did the number increase to 16?
I think it
maybe?
increased.
Ah.
It increased to 16.
Champions Trophy also, I think India lost more.
India lost all the tosses. Yeah, it's 14 out of 14.
That day, I think Sky had put out on its social media handles the probability of Shubman losing the toss in the 5th match as well. I think it was you had to go 7, 8, 10 decimal places of Shubman Gill losing the toss.
Some 1 in a 10 millionth chance.
Yeah, something like
But
that.
it's
It's happened.
It's happened. So yes, it's 5-0 when it comes to the tosses. And I'm yet
England
to
will
get
bowl first.
England will bowl first. And
No surprise over there.
It's no surprise. So I'm just waiting for the team when it comes.
No,
It's not-
that's what I said, Siddharth, when you said no, that the pitch gets progressively worse, which would suggest that the captain winning the toss would want to bat first. But I think, you know why, Siddharth, it was getting progressively worse? Because previously, Oval was also trying to serve up good batting pitches like you've seen in the rest of the series. But this time you've left a bit of green grass, you've left a bit of juice in the pitch. So I think that might also change. It might, unlike what has been happening so far, there's a chance that this pitch might get better to bat on as the game progresses. At least that's what I can say, as an estimate. But absolute correct decision for anyone to win the toss, you have to bowl first because the conditions will be the best for seam bowling on day one, and you have to utilize that.
So these are the team
Okay.
changes as
Yeah.
Nikhil suggested. Jurel, Karun and Prasidh in for Pant, Shardul and Bumrah. That's the 3 changes that is there. And now we very well know what the team is. So in this entire series now, no Kuldeep Yadav. He will not get to play a single game. Bumrah played his last test in Manchester. That's about it. So basically it will be about who bats where. Either at number 3 or number 5. That is the decision.
This could be a lifeline for Karun Nair.
Yeah, the good thing
Huge
over here
lifeline,
is
yep.
the good thing is we thought that he'd seen his last test cap, but there's another chance for Karun Nair, and I hope he makes. See, it's a tricky wicket as we've seen already. There's a fair bit of grass. It's the most amount of grass that we've seen in this test series. However, for the batter that he is, you hope that he is able to put aside everything that's happened, and is able to get some sort of runs over here. It will depend a lot on how the number 3, who I think will continue to bat at number 3 as we saw in the previous match, doesn't get runs is what he'd hope for, because if he gets runs and Karun also gets some runs, it doesn't help his cause much. I think Karun just needs a big score for him to get back into the number 3 slot. But if Sai also gets runs, he also gets some sort of runs. I don't know how much that changes.
The
but
only way he can come back in the Indian team after not scoring today is that if he starts bowling in domestic cricket in the upcoming Ranji Trophy.
no, even then I think.
Test cricket, don't give me a second chance. Test cricket, give me a third chance. And Karun Nair has got that third chance, because we thought that after Lords, maybe it's done. But then because Pant, if you look at it, Pant, Shardul, Bumrah, the combination was such that you had to play all of them. So Prasidh is in, then you got Karun Nair in, and Dhruv Jurel is in as your
So
keeper.
by the way, then there's no Akashdeep. There is no Akashdeep then, and Anshul Kamboj sticks.
Oh yes,
Anshul
yes. So
Kamboj
that
remains
is
in the side.
Yep. So
That's
here
the
is
one
your
other thing.
playing 11. I'll give you a playing 11. Jaiswal, Rahul, Sai Sudarshan is slotted at number 3. Shubman Gill at 4. Karun Nair is at 5. Jaddu at 6. Dhruv Jurel at 7. Washington Sundar at 8. Anshul Kamboj, Prasidh Krishna, Mohammad Siraj.
This is a bit of a googly. I don't think any of us were expecting Akashdeep to not be there, especially given the fact that he had been training full tilt. It wasn't a big injury. He had a groin injury, but that was last week, and we were given an impression that he's progressively getting better. He was seen bowling full tilt a couple of days back. Just now as well, you saw those deferred images. He was in a chat with Jasprit Bumrah as they were presented with the ball box. I hope that that there's we get told about some sort of error in there being some typing
No,
error
now
or
it's-
something.
now they have changed.
Now
Some
they've
type-
changed.
see,
It's Akash.
right
Now
on
it's
cue.
Akashdeep.
Right on cue. Yeah, it was, and it's surprising how is it that Gill also didn't say that.
Yeah.
He talks about only 3
Maybe,
people.
Yeah, that's a
it
fourth
is.
major change. Yes,
Yeah.
it is
Fourth
Akash
major,
Deep. Yep.
So out goes. So we'll just run you through the 11 once again. It is Jaiswal, KL Rahul, Sai Sudarshan, Shubman Gill. No
Yeah.
change over there. Then there's Karun Nair, who's slotted at number 5. Ravindra Jadeja, Dhruv Jurel, Washington Sundar, Akash Deep comes back into the side. So does Prasidh Krishna. Out go Shardul Thakur and Anshul Kamboj, and there is Mohammad Siraj, who will be the leader of the pace bowling department. So 4 changes for the Indian team. I'll repeat once again. Out go Anshul Kamboj, Rishabh Pant, Shardul Thakur and Jasprit Bumrah, and in come Akashdeep is in, Karun Nair is in, there is Prasidh Krishna who is back, and Dhruv Jurel comes in for Rishabh Pant.
All right. So, yeah, if you look at it, this was the bowling combination we all had anticipated to be. One slight heart attack in the middle that, yeah, Kamboj still retains his place. I thought he also was not fit after the end of the Manchester Test match. So, yep, Siraj and Akashdeep will begin the proceedings with the new ball. I think Prasidh will be your first change. And then you'll have your 2 spinners in going in.
Yeah, I think what India realizes is that they don't need 6 bowling options, because you weren't using Shardul
Anyway,
Thakur
you're
a
using
lot.
3 only.
Yeah, you weren't using Shardul Thakur a lot.
don't
Remember,
use
there
spinners
was
a lot either.
there were also times we questioned Shubman Gill for bringing in Washington Sundar too late, as we saw in the first innings of the previous Test match as well. He was nowhere to be seen up till the 63rd over, I remember, of the first innings, and you were questioning, okay, in fact 68, that there's only 10-12 overs left of the ball for the new ball to come. Why is it that Washington Sundar hasn't bowled? And then he gave you those 2 wickets. So perhaps you realize these 5 bowlers are enough to get you 20 wickets. Whether that will be the case or not is something we'll have to see.
Yep. So, Nikhil, this is the bowling combination. I mean, Akashdeep, Prasidh, Mohammad Siraj, Washington Sundar, and Ravindra Jadeja, when you look at it. 5 bowlers. For the first time in the series, you're playing 5 bowlers, right? Normally, you've had a 6th bowling option. Is it an admission that, okay, maybe our 6th bowling option isn't giving us that much when it comes to either holding up one end or something? So, they've gone back to that 5 bowler option. Do you think this selection is just based on the conditions?
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, exactly what I mentioned at the start of our program, that there'll be 4 changes, and those are exactly the 4 changes that have happened. That you're going to bring in a Karun Nair, no Kuldeep Yadav, and that Jasprit Bumrah also won't play. So this is what was expected, and this is exactly the team that India has played. By and large, I think under the circumstances, this is the best team that you could have played. I know a lot of talk about Kuldeep Yadav, but I guess in the conditions that you've got here, you really could not afford to play 3 spinners. And I think with the batting that Washi and Jadeja have done, you couldn't have dropped a spinner as well. I think you've taken them more for their batting than their bowling, because you actually expect your fast bowlers to do the job. Coming back to why I think they've gone with 5 bowlers, not 6, I don't think it's any admission. I think it is still condition based for 2 reasons. One, we all know that as soon as you see green conditions, those are alien conditions, and somewhere down the line, it's not to say that Indian batters can't get runs in these conditions, but you know that getting runs here will be tougher. So you had to bolster your batting, keeping that in mind, that you need another proper batter so that there's a chance that you can pile on some runs. So that's the first thought. In that process, you have to let go of a bowler. And I think why, again, with 5 bowlers you can go, because, see, for fast bowlers, it was a lot of hard work to get wickets in the previous Test matches. Yes, you've had fast bowlers like Akashdeep who picked up 10, Siraj pick up 5-wicket haul, or Jasprit Bumrah pick up those wickets, but they were far and few in between. So it was a lot of hard work where you had to get those wickets. I think what they're expecting here is that shorter batting innings, because of the conditions, shorter batting innings would mean more and more of your fast bowlers can pick up wickets at a much consistent basis at a shorter span. So they think that 5, so your aim is basically to pick 20 wickets, and in flatter conditions, maybe you went with the 6 bowling option. You are always underutilizing the 6th bowler anyway. So I think with that in mind, they've gone with 5 bowlers. One, that they need to bolster their batting. One, that they think their bowlers can, one less bowler also can do a job in helpful conditions. The other thing I remember, Sudhanshu Kotak, the batting coach, had mentioned in the eve of the game, that Indian team probably had a realization that there was a chance that you were going to always underbowl the sixth bowling option, even if you were bowling a lot of overs, like you were in flat conditions. And now that you will be bowling lesser overs, or at least you're expecting lesser overs because of the condition, then there was a much bigger chance of you underbowling the sixth bowler. So I think they've gone with that. And the only other option was, if you wanted your batting and bowling, was Shardul. But I think now it's pretty clear that the captain really doesn't have faith in him. It did seem like as if Shardul was kind of put in the team, maybe at the discussion of the team management, and he comes in, and but maybe not 100% agreement from the captain, because then you end up underutilizing him. And if you're going to underutilize him, you might as well go in with a batter. So I kind of agree, and this is the indication I gave 2 days ago, that India will no way play Kuldeep. Their only option is either play Shardul, which seems unlikely because the captain doesn't trust him. So there's a good chance they will bring in a batter. And if that batter had to be Karun Nair, because you had given him chances in and out. So I think on all those fronts, it's pretty much the team that I expected out of. And truth be told, as much as I wanted Kuldeep Yadav, if I was to ask you on these kind of pitches in these conditions, could you have played him? No. I think this is the best possible 11 that India could go with. India are missing Pant and Bumrah, but this will also give them a good. And by the way, you knew how the pitch is going to be yesterday only. As soon as England announced their squad with 4 fast bowlers, sacrificing all-rounder in Ben Stokes going out, you kind of had a no spinner in their rank. Gave you an idea what sort of a pitch there will be. So best team I think they've played, but and they are without some of their top performers in a Jofra Archer, in a Ben Stokes. So it should be interesting.
Yeah, they're playing only one spinner, if you get it, in Jacob Bethel, but he's also part-time.
No, but he's part-time. Even Bethel's a batter, yeah.
Yeah, he's primarily a batter. So that's why. But then it's tough being Shardul Thakur, because you dropped him at the venue where he's got a very good record bowling and batting.
Yeah.
And he scored you 250s and
and on these conditions, why would you not want to utilize the Shardul Thakur?
I don't quite know if the balance of this team is right.
And it sort of isn't. See, in these conditions, you're playing 3 fast bowlers. I'm just 3 fast bowlers and 2 spinners. But then those 2 spinners are playing only because of the batting. I think if Shardul Thakur would have impressed more than Washington Sundar with the bat, I think you would have gone in with a Shardul Thakur.
I think your batting was doing enough to give you confidence.
The sole reason you're going with Washington Sundar and Jadeja is that they can bat. So I think it will just come down to the fact that you're playing with 3 fast bowlers, and then which team bats better in these conditions. It's just going to boil down to that.
I want to know what happened to the reports of Bumrah playing, that he had not bowled one day before.
No, I was just saying there could be an outside chance for that.
No, but I want to know who reported this. That 2 days ago he was bowling full tilt, and one day before he didn't bowl, and that tells you that he'll play. I just want to know for my own knowledge.
No reports as such.
Where was it reported?
No, generally.
You said I'd read reports.
I can't name the reports here, na.
Acha, you cannot.
Those reports were.
You send me on WhatsApp, okay?
Yeah.
Those reports of Bumrah playing were indeed Gumrah in a lot of ways.
Say that again.
The reports of Bumrah playing were all Gumrah. They were all trying to Gumrah fires in a way. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough being Shardul Thakur. And see, in this whole tour, he'll only be remembered for 2 things. The sheer criminal underutilization of him in 2 tests. Combined, he bowled how much? He just bowled about 33 overs in the whole 2 tests.
Yeah, first was 16.
Yeah, and other I think was about close to 11 or 12. Okay, about 30 overs. 30 overs. And he made that comment also. The captain decides.
I will, whatever said and done, I will remember Shardul Thakur for having the audacity to go ahead and say, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. In fact, I'm not looking at this as any sort of rebellion or anything, but this is just a player, this is just an all-rounder being underutilized, and he put his feelings forth. We only get to hear from the captain, the coach, and a couple of players here and there. Not always do we hear all players. Especially those who are in and out of the side. For him to pick the mic and say that, listen, it affects the rhythm, it's down to the captain to decide how many overs a bowler is going to bowl. I think the message is very clear, and I'll remember him for saying that.
No, he's not going anywhere. I think he'll definitely be a part of
India, so you don't play him. He's only played 1 test match in India.
Yeah. And how are you going to play him in the 4 tests that you're going to play against South Africa and West Indies?
Then he needs to work on his batting. That's the only way he can.
He's got only 1 chance.
That's true.
New Zealand, October 2026.
There also Sundar and Jadeja will play.
Who knows? I don't know. Because see, 2 tests in October, November in New Zealand is for the first time you're going there after a very long time in that month. Normally you go around December, Jan.
But whatever, Shardul can be a proper conversation some other time. But remember, he got you those 41 crucial runs as well. When nobody else was stepping up, you needed something to cling on to. You needed someone to give that resistance. When I think Jadeja was batting at the other end, he got you those 41 odd runs as well.
So yes, there ends Shardul Thakur's tour. A tour that was so criminally underutilized for him.
Abhimanyu Iswaran as well.
Abhimanyu Ishwaran, let us not even get into that. Abhimanyu Ishwaran, Kuldeep Yadav, they are all the what ifs.
So answer the question. Will Abhimanyu Ishwaran be picked for the next tour?
No.
Who will be your backup opener? You'll need him, no?
See, you're playing in October. India, South Africa in India.
But you'll anyways need a backup opener.
Gaikwad.
No.
What if he's fit?
Yeah, Ruturaj Gaikwad. I think that's about it. Swaran is
No, but
gone.
if they even need a backup opener, then they'll open with Sai Sudarshan and slot somebody at number 3.
Yeah, they could.
That's
do
KL
it.
Rahul.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
KL Rahul will continue to open, no?
You mean Jaiswal will then go away?
No. I'm saying if either one is not available, then you
push Sai to the
Sai
opening
and
slot.
even then you won't get in Abhimanyu Iswaran, even if he's in the squad.
It's done. Abhimanyu Ishwaran, I think it's done. And he's not playing
See,
anymore.
this is not doing him any good. It's harming him. The more that he stays, it's difficult being that player who's never looked at in the dressing room. so yeah, I just hope that he's able to cope with this, and see, he can concentrate on other things in life than he can concentrate on his red ball cricket at home.
So 1, 2, 3, we all agree that
Commentary and all of this.
I'm not saying that he should retire or whatever, but
See, Nikhil, we believe he won't be picked. But what do you feel? I can't see where he'll be picked, when he'll be picked.
No, but it's a rare chance that I agree with Shashwat that you will need a backup opener, na? So who will be the backup? So he'll go, though he will not perform the role of backup opener, he'll go as the designated backup opener. Backup, when you need the opener, somebody else will only open.
Yeah.
No, but jokes apart, I think honestly, I don't think he'll get picked now. See, because you got to understand that it's very unfair on him, as we pointed out. But the reason they're not playing him is because they don't have belief in him. Whether that's right or wrong is a different debate, right? And as we've made our opinion very clear on that it's unfair on him, right? But that's the reality, that's the truth. So that's why they're not playing him. And if that's the idea, then you might as well look ahead and go with whoever, some young gun, and bring him, who at least you believe in, who you think can open. So whoever that is, go with that. So ideally, also for his sake, I'll also say for May's sake, I mean, it can be mentally exhausting and can be mentally damaging, just going tour after tour and just being, there and nobody really caring about you or even thinking about you playing a game. You're just there. That's it.
But
I
one
don't
thing
think it's
that
a
you
great
mentioned
place
that there
to be
should
in.
be somebody in the team who the team really believes in. But one thing that I've seen with this specific management is, specifically since the time Gautam Gambhir has come in, that as soon as the team starts to believe in somebody, that person straight away slots into the 11. So we have seen it with Sai Sudarshan, we have seen with Harshit Rana, Nitish Kumar Reddy, Washington Sundar. All of these people were never really looked at as backups to anything. As soon as the team really believes in the abilities of someone particular, they straight away put that person into the 11. So if they believe in somebody, that person will be playing. You need somebody who you don't believe in to sit out.
And conversely, the one you don't believe in will not play. So it's good, not to select them. Of course, whoever you believe in, you'll play. Who you don't believe in, don't carry them as excess baggage. Just let them be.
We heard it right from one of the former captains that, see, some people will obviously always be believed in and be given an extra rope. So yeah, the long rope is extended to a few, the long rope will not be extended to a few. I'm glad in this case Karun Nair is is on the right side of things and he's getting a longer rope here, and I'm regardless of how things go, pretty sure he will not be the ones to say that he didn't get the long rope. How he performs is totally in his hands now, but Karun Nair will not be in that category of people who didn't get the long rope.
And I think that Karun Nair definitely, see, with Karun Nair, I think this could be his last opportunity if he doesn't really do well. But as far as Dhruv Jurel is concerned, I feel that, see, if we look, I'm just looking at the longer picture, and that is that Dhruv Jurel cannot be slotted into the 11 until and unless Rishabh Pant is not available. I don't see any chance of Dhruv Jurel superseding Rishabh Pant and coming into the 11. But a way that Dhruv Jurel can play a regular role in this team is that if he bats really well, and seeing that the team really has a lot of belief on people who bat well, then Dhruv Jurel can slot in as a batter in this team as a permanent fixture, because we are seeing that the Indian team is undergoing a transition, and because of that Dhruv Jurel can really make his mark as a full-time batter. Because if he does not do that and remains to be a wicket keeper and only plays as a wicket keeper, then he cannot get that opportunity till the time there is a Rishabh Pant, and Rishabh Pant for now is there to stay, and he's not somebody who's going to go out of this Indian setup even if he's having a very bad phase for a very long period of time. So the only way Dhruv Jurel can really leave a mark is by scoring runs and slot himself as a batter and tell the selectors and the management that he can also play as a batter, because as a wicket keeper I don't see him being a mainstay in the Indian team in the longer run.
Well, he had a good run in that England series. But now, again, the chopping and changing. BGT was there for just one test, if I'm not mistaken. After that, we have not seen Dhruv Jurel. Yeah, first test. After that, we haven't seen him. He played some gritty knocks. He could have done well in tougher situations, but
I'm thinking, just yourself tell
what
me.
What are your prediction, guys? The game's going to start. I want to know what is going to happen in the match.
Okay. First session.
Not first session. What will happen in this match? Now you know the 11s, you know the pitch.
I think India are making it 2-2. Somehow, I think when you are pushed
Why do you say
against a
that?
wall, and plus Bumrah isn't playing, you may have a chance. You won the one test without Bumrah. I mean, come on.
I think
What mean thing to say.
I mean, it's happened. I'm not saying that. You won a test without Bumrah in England, in Edgbaston. What makes you think you're going to win this match?
Yeah, we
That's
know
true.
that.
But to say that India will win because there is no Bumrah is...
Plus, Lee
exactly.
Fortis riled them up, na. So you got instances when they have been riled up, they go on to win.
I at the beginning of the series did feel that India could have a very good chance to win the series 3-2, and the reason for that was that whatever Shubman Gill said in his first press conference when the Indian team arrived in England. But now I feel heading into this test match, England have a very good chance to make it 3-1, and I think this is a pattern that we have seen with the Indian team, and we saw it in the BGT as well, that they started really well, they dominated all throughout the test matches, could not win on those big moments or in those sessions that were really crucial, ended up being behind in the series, and by the end of the series the team was so exhausted and they had fought so much that then everything starts to collapse suddenly. So I feel that this could be a very similar story to what we saw in BGT.
I think between the two sides, the one that is far more weakened from the previous match is the home team. And the combination, even though I don't quite agree with the 11 that India have gone ahead with, I think they're playing one batter more. But I still feel the experience that this side has far supersedes what England have to present. Yes, there's of course an Ollie Pope who at home does very well. He averages something around 70 at his home ground. There is Joe Root to be worried about as well. But when I look at that bowling and the Indian bowling, I think overall England have far more to worry about. They've lost 4 very good players, 2 game changers in Archer and Stokes. India haven't been, India know how to operate without a Jasprit Bumrah. They have that formula in place. I think India should be making it 2-2.
Yep.
Your thoughts, Nikhil?
I at the start of this game, I'd said it was 50-50, and I thought that India had a good chance to make it 2-2, but I still thought it was a 50-50 sort of a setup. Then England lost those crucial players, and then I was tilting towards India, thinking that, okay, from 50-50, maybe India has a slight chance of making it 2-2. But now, I think, now that I know the pitch and the conditions and what has happened at the toss, I'm tilting towards England. I have a feeling that in these conditions, with the factor that they won the toss, I have a feeling that it could be 3-1. I'm not saying it because I had predicted 3-1 at the start of the series, so I'm not saying it so that my prediction is right, but it's just based on conditions and things that are happening. I also feel that, England on that front, while players have been have been injured, they've been going out, but there has been some sort of consistency with England. I mean, they were definitely frustrated in the last match when you could see that when that whole handshake fiasco happened. I completely agree, but overall, I think they've been a bit more assured in their plans and what they're supposed to do. In India's case, I think they have kind of gone left and right and a bit in the center. What is it that they want to do? Extra batter sometime, not an extra batter sometime. Uh, you know, which is your fast bowlers, whether it's Prasidh Krishna, the hit the deck, or an Anshul Kamboj movement. I think there is a maybe because it's a new sort of a setup, a new captain coach combination, and going forward things may change. And it's also their first tour, so all of that put together, and I think the primary reason I'm looking at these conditions, where I'll give a slight edge to England. It could be a close game, but I'm giving a slight edge to England, and I think had this been a flat batting pitch, I would have gone India's way. Looking at the players being dropped from England and the frustration that England showed in the last Test match, I would have sided with India. Now looking at these conditions, I'm going the other way. I mean, 55-45 in England's favour in this. So that's why I think it might just be 3-1.
Okay, so you said 2-2. I've also said 2-2. You and Nikhil are saying 3-1. Oh, it's a very even split. But looking at this wicket, the pace looks sluggish. It's not swinging around that much. There's a bit of
also there's moisture.
ball.
No, there's also moisture. The wicket's been covered for such a long time.
Couple of balls.
Spongy
only.
balls.
Yeah, it takes about an hour and so
And the wicket's
for it
been
to really
covered
show.
since approximately 2 days now. There would have been a lot of sweating also.
So yeah, let's see. Maybe in the next 1 hour we may see the Duke's ball do something. It's got the ideal conditions for the Duke's ball to not have any kind of complaints. Green, overcast. Let's hope that
In fact, very interestingly, there has been no conversation about the ball since the last 2 Test matches. Now, since the time England has gone back to the traditional, kind of wickets, kind of conditions. Since then, I have not heard a lot of ball changing and a talk
Although
about
in
the
Manchester,
Ball changing was anyway more from India.
Yeah.
No, but even after that, there was
Manchester was like Delhi, yaar.
Yeah, that wasn't traditional England
Manchester
at
was like
all.
Firoz Shah
This
Kotla.
is traditional.
Sure.
It was like Delhi, yeah, like what Nikhil said. Manchester was like a Delhi wicket. I mean, 425 for 4. Come on.
Yeah.
In the 4th and the 5th day.
And Lords, you will remember they didn't go ahead and make an issue of the ball because you'd picked up wickets. You were picking wickets with that ball in the second inning, so you didn't want there to be anything changed over there.
Yeah. So let's take one
Or
or two.
maybe you resigned to the fact, yeah, this is what it is. Let's just go.
Let's go with it. Yeah. Let's take a couple of comments. If there is then we'll call it quits. Okay. Shubham Garg, before Gambhir era, India had always gone with 4 proper fast bowlers on green pitches. But Gambhir goes with less bowling like Sydney 25 even today also, yeah? Imagine, 20, this looks like
But honestly, Shubham Garg, I'll put it on the captain as well. Yes, the common link between the 2 matches is the coach remaining the same, so that's the common denominator. The captain may have changed, but I still believe it's the captain as well who takes these calls on the 11th hour. It's the
really
combination.
the captain? Because my only point over here is the captain's philosophy. I think there was a very big switch from the first to the second Test match. First Test match, you went with proper bowlers, proper batters, and just one all-rounder in Ravindra Jadeja. And Shardul Thakur, I'm counting him as a bowler over there. So over there, your combination was proper. The combination that we talk about very often, that this should be the combination. As soon as you lost that Test match, since then you have started to go and deepen your batting, and that is why I really don't know if both the captain and the coach are on the same page, or if maybe what is working for them is this method right now, and that is why they are going with it. It's still not very clear.
Yeah, Pranit Datta, surprised to see Shardul missing out on a green pitch. Well, that beats us also. Why Shardul left out on a green pitch? But yes, the first over is up. 2 for no loss. Not that many demons from the wicket. So yeah, we'll join you for the lunch session. Hopefully, because with the weather around, you don't know how it is going to be. So from all 3 of us and from Nikhil, it's bye-bye. We'll see you soon.